We had a couple overseas many years ago, and they said, yeah, going overseas as a missionary, it's like pouring Miracle Grow on your sins.
I was meeting with one of our field leaders who's having a challenge with one of his younger staff who wants to do everything by himself. And he probably thinks it's because, no, like, I got this, I can do this, let me go. But I think deep down, knowing him, there's some insecurity about somebody else being able to observe what he's doing in ministry. There's some inner things that are happening in his life, in his heart, that he's unable to see that that's actually connecting to his behavior and how he's trying to engage in ministry on his own.
Let me just get the elephant in the room on the table for a minute. So you look at the mission field, our marriages cruising along, everything's great. Our marriage is very challenging. Is morality a problem? Give us a sense of how much better it is. If you're a missionary, it's just got to be easy. You're just out there saving people and developing, right?
We had a couple several years ago, their marriage fell apart. And when I was debriefing some of it with them, I asked them if the issues they had in their marriage were there when they came to our assessment and orientation. And they said, oh yeah, we hid them from you really well. And when we thought that things would be better on the mission field.
You should feel free, and I would be disappointed if you don't. At times, look at Raymond and say, could you get that down to 5 seconds for me?
And I'll be disappointed if you don't say, Dennis, that was dumb.
Well, I took what Dennis said. When I heard what Dennis said just then, what I heard was I should feel free to make fun of Dennis at any point.
That's also what I heard. So I think we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
With the younger people you're getting out early in their career, how much of a challenge is it that their grasp of the full scripture is limited, or is that just observation that's not accurate?
No, I mean, I think at least in our case, it's not inaccurate. Maybe I'll go back to something Meredith said earlier is you get the people that you get, or at least that get approved, and then you have to work with them from where they are. So in our ministry, because we're so very focused on evangelism on our campuses in the US, so most students that we see come to know, involved in our ministry, they're coming to know Christ in college. That was my story.
There's 2 interesting peer-reviewed articles on the street. One of them is called What Happened to the Guys? That's one article. The other article is Men on Missions, MIA.
Well, and you guys are the males on this call, so this probably, I don't know if this is in my lane to answer, but I have kind of, as I've talked to some guys and again heard from our recruiting team, there does seem to be, like, I think men who are graduating from college who have been involved in our ministry seem to feel a more urgent pressure to, like, hurry up and establish their career and start to make money than the women do. So what that's rooted in, I won't try to speak to, but there is kind of that observation as we're talking about, even, hey, come spend 2 years, before you lock into a life and start to establish roots somewhere, come serve alongside of one of our overseas teams for 2 years. But a lot of our guys are feeling kind of this pressure to know, I got to already go ahead and start establishing my career and start making money to build stability and provide for the long run.